Stan, here we are in the garden again, just doing a bit of work, getting some electricity, put it into this gazebo. I just dug a trench, felt like jumping into it. No, dug a trench. I wonder why people used to bury glass and roof tiles in the ground. This is not the first time I've come across this. I've always lived in old houses growing up in my married life, in this country anyway. I've always lived in older houses, 1920s, 1930s. I've come across this before. Old bits of broken crockery or glass or tiles. That's what I've found. Didn't people? Wasn't there landfills and stuff years ago? I mean, there certainly was tips, places you could take it. Whoops. But yeah, obviously people just thought, I'll bury it in the garden, all that glass and that. Don't need it anymore. Anyway, while I was out here, I thought, let's do a quick video. So this is the British War Medal, courtesy of Landsturm. And I am reading from this little book that you've seen before. So, date 1919, and it was campaign, First World War. It says 1914, 1920 in here. I don't know why, I thought 1919, but 1920, yeah. It'll probably tell you later on if I just, yeah, I get why. That explains later on. So, branch of service, British and Imperial Forces. The ribbon is orange watered centre with stripes of white and black at each side of the borders a royal blue. Metal, silver or bronze. This is silver, I think. Size is 36mm. The obverse is the uncrowned left-facing profile of King George V by Sir Bertram McKennell. So we'll have a look at that side. Get a clear picture of that. Very nice it is too. The reverse, St. George on horseback, trampling underfoot the eagle shield of the Central Powers, and a skull and crossbones, the emblems of death. Above the sun has risen in victory. Above the sun has risen in victory. The figure is mounted on horseback to symbolise man's mind controlling a force of greater strength than his own, and thus alludes to the scientific and mechanical appliances which helped win the war. Indeed. So there we go. There's the sun, man on horseback, Central Powers shield, and skull and crossbones. It is a lovely medal, it is. So, clasps none. This medal was instituted to record the successful conclusion of the First World War, but it was later extended to cover the period 1919 to 1920, and service in mine clearing at sea, as well as participation in operations in North and Southern Russia, the Eastern Baltic, Siberia, the Black Sea and Caspian. Some 6,500,000 medals were awarded in silver, but about 110,000 in bronze were issued mainly to Chinese, Indian and Maltese personnel in labour battalions. It was originally intended to award campaign clasps, but 79 were recommended by the Army and 68 by the Navy, so the scheme was abandoned as impractical. The naval clasps were actually authorised 7th of July 1920, and miniatures are known with them, although the actual clasps were never issued. So value, bear in mind this book is 13 years old. So the silver ones, it's saying here 20 or 30 pounds. The little asterisk there saying current prices of it dictated by world silver markets. Bronze one being British War Medal being 1 ounce of silver. The price will fluctuate. There's other little bits in there, but I mean 20, 30 pounds a bit cheap now. It is probably thinking maybe 40 up over. And this is named. These are all named World War I medals, and this is named too. Let's have a look. W.H. Westwood, so that must be ordinary seaman, Royal Navy. And I'm sort of I'm not researching stuff when it comes to like researching the individuals on medals and stuff like that. I've been on those heritage websites, and I think for what you're paying you don't get a lot, to be honest. So I'm probably just going to leave it. and put it on display. My situation at the minute, I've just counted, I've got 24, including this one, Ww1 British medals, various ones, inherited ones, ones I've bought, ones I've traded, and I really need to sort them out into a designated area, I think, and that's what I'm going to do. This is going to go in the designated area, which means sorting stuff out, which yeah, so we'll get on with that. So that's the British War Medal to ordinary seaman. It's not going to focus. Focus, you. WH Westwood, and it's been polished up, which is a nice thing to think that, you know, the sailor, soldier or airman during the 1920s and 30s, if he was wearing his full-size uniforms at Armistice Day parades, would have polished all his medals up. So nowadays obviously you're encouraged or discouraged from doing that to old medals, but yeah, a very nice medal it is too. So this is Stan, and I will see you.